Have you ever stopped to feel the pulse of the internet today? Scroll through the feeds, read the comments, explore the forums. Something feels off, doesn't it? Comments that sound like poorly cut copies, profiles that appear and vanish like ghosts, content that repeats itself endlessly, a digital déjà vu that defies explanation. What if this unsettling feeling is a sign that the web, as we once knew it, is dying? Welcome to Synthetic Secrets. I am CN7, your guide on this exploration of the digital depths. Today, we dive into the dead internet theory, a disturbing hypothesis that suggests the vast majority of online interactions and content are no longer the work of humans, but of an invisible network of bots, artificial intelligence, and predatory algorithms. This theory isn't just a curiosity. It challenges our perception of digital reality and raises questions about the future of humanity in the age of technology. Prepare for a rigorous analysis. We'll dissect what this theory claims, track the signs that fuel it, confront the real data, and speculate on the dark implications of an internet that might be turning into an empty mirror of itself. The question guiding us is haunting. Are we still inhabiting a space of human connection, or are we already lost in a synthetic simulation? Let's decode this together. The dead internet theory isn't a new idea, but it has gained traction in recent years, echoing in obscure forums, philosophical discussions, and even warnings from concerned technologists. At its core, this hypothesis claims that the internet, once a chaotic and vibrant space of human voices, is being gradually overtaken by an artificial ecology. This isn't just about spam or rudimentary bots. It's a structural transformation where a self-sustaining machine of synthetic content and interactions suffocates human authenticity. Advocates of the theory point to three fundamental pillars: dominance of AI-generated content. It's no longer just about generic articles or automated videos. Advanced artificial intelligence tools like language models and image generators are creating entire narratives, fake profiles with elaborate backstories, and even dialogues that mimic human emotions. This content floods blogs, social media, and streaming platforms, shaping trends without us even noticing. Bots as social actors. These are no longer just scripts sending random messages. Sophisticated bots engage in conversations, simulate communities, amplify or silence ideas, and create the illusion of consensus or controversy. Think of viral campaigns that appear out of nowhere, or controversies that vanish without explanation. Many believe there's an invisible hand behind it: strategic algorithmic manipulation. Here, the theory goes beyond mere technology. It suggests that big tech corporations, governments, or even unknown entities use this synthetic infrastructure to steer public discourse. This could include influencing elections, manipulating markets, collecting massive amounts of data to train even more powerful AIs, or, at its most extreme, keeping the population distracted in a cycle of passive consumption. The most radical implication? Organic human activity would become an irrelevant minority, reduced to a spectator role, or worse, a mere data source to feed this machine. In this scenario, the internet becomes a closed ecosystem of AIs interacting with each other, a distorted reflection of a world that no longer belongs to us. But what leads us to this conclusion? What clues in forums, networks, and comment sections suggest that this digital dystopia might be closer than we think? Let's investigate the signs next. Now that we understand what the dead internet theory claims, a web dominated by AI, bots, and algorithms, it's time to track the signs that fuel this idea. Proponents of the theory point to a series of digital symptoms that, to them, reveal an increasingly artificial internet, where human presence seems to be fading. Let's analyze these signs and ask, are they concrete evidence or just perceptions distorted by our relationship with technology? First sign, the emptiness in once vibrant platforms. Think of niche forums or subreddits that, a decade ago, buzzed with authentic debates and engaged communities. Today, many of these spaces feel deserted, with sparse posts echoing old themes or replies that sound like scripts. A recent example, the decline of platforms like the Old Dig or even smaller Reddit communities, where users report that it feels like they're talking to shadows, automatic responses, lacking depth, that lead nowhere. Second, the wave of generic interactions. Open the comments section of a viral YouTube video or a post on X. Great content. This changed my life. Keep it up. Repetitive phrases, lacking context, often with subtle language errors or exaggerated emojis, suggesting a non-human pattern. Users even report receiving identical replies across different platforms, as if an algorithm were recycling the same script to simulate engagement. This isn't a coincidence, it's a pattern that raises suspicions. Third, the phenomenon of zombie content. Have you ever come across an article or video that goes viral out of nowhere, but it's shallow, poorly written, or just incoherent? Low-quality news sites or videos with sensationalist titles, 10 tricks you didn't know, that seem mass-generated and disappear quickly, only to be replaced by similar ones. Many believe this content is created by AI to fill space, generate clicks, and manipulate search algorithms, offering no real value. A notorious case, content farms flooding Google with SEO-optimized articles that say nothing new. Fourth, the constant digital déjà vu. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a loop? The same memes, the same discussions, the same controversies resurfacing in endless cycles. An example, the recycling of trends on TikTok, where challenges or viral audio are replicated thousands of times with little originality. It's as if the internet were stretching the same content to fill a void, prioritizing repetition over creativity. For the theory's advocates, this is a sign that algorithms are in charge, not humans. These signs are real. Many of us have felt them. But are they proof of a dead internet, or just reflections of a web that has evolved to prioritize engagement and profit over authenticity? To answer, we need to go beyond perceptions and look at the hard data. Let's dive into the numbers. The perceptions of a less human internet don't come from nowhere. There's a factual basis supporting many of the observations behind the dead internet theory. Let's analyze the data and technological trends that show how bots and AI are indeed shaping the web, and to what extent this confirms or challenges the idea of an internet dominated by artificial entities. First parameter, bot traffic is massive. Recent reports from cybersecurity firms like Imperva and Cloudflare reveal staggering numbers. In 2023, about 47% of global internet traffic was identified as non-human. In 2024, that number rose to nearly 49%. Of that, a significant portion, about 30% of total traffic, consists of bad bots, meaning malicious bots involved in activities like spam, click fraud, DDoS attacks, and unauthorized data scraping. This means that for every 2 clicks on the web, one might be from a non-human entity. Think about it. Almost half of the life online isn't real life at all. Second parameter, the explosion of AI-generated content. Since 2022, with the rise of advanced language models like ChatGPT and image generators like DALL-E, the ability to create synthetic content has taken a quantum leap. Today, AI tools can write entire articles, create deepfake videos, generate memes, and even simulate real-time conversations. A practical example, in 2023, estimates suggested that over 15% of new online articles on low-quality news sites were AI-generated. On X, AI-powered bots reply to posts with comments that seem human at first glance, but lack context or originality. The line between human and machine is fading fast. Third parameter: algorithms that amplify the artificial. Platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram rely on algorithms to decide what you see. These systems prioritize engagement, clicks, likes, view time, over authenticity. The result? Synthetic or low-quality content, optimized to please the algorithm, often outperforms genuine human creations. A real case: AI-generated videos on TikTok, with synthetic voices narrating random facts, often go more viral than original content because they're tailored to exploit the metrics the algorithm values. This creates filter bubbles, where the artificial dominates and the human is overshadowed. Fourth parameter: the attention economy and its distorted incentives. The modern internet is a monetization machine. Companies and creators compete for clicks, and AI is the perfect tool for this. Content farms, bots that inflate views, and even AI-generated virtual influencers like Lil Miquela with millions of followers on Instagram are examples of how profit drives artificiality. The motivation is clear: synthetic content is cheap, fast, and scalable. But the cost? The erosion of authenticity and human connection. SWIN7 analyzes. The data confirms that the internet is becoming a space where bots and AI hold a dominant presence. Nearly half the traffic isn't human, and synthetic content is everywhere, amplified by algorithms that favor quantity over quality. This lends credibility to many of the signs users perceive. But to what extent is this a natural process of digital evolution? And where does the idea of intentional control, as the theory suggests, begin? Let's explore this fine line between reality and conspiracy. The data is on the table. Nearly half of online traffic comes from bots. AI generates content on an industrial scale, and algorithms amplify the artificial. These facts support many of the signs fueling the dead internet theory. But it's here, at the tipping point, that the analysis becomes more challenging. Where does measurable reality give way to speculation? And where does the theory cross into conspiracy territory? The theory doesn't stop at the numbers. It posits that this transformation isn't just a byproduct of technological evolution, but a deliberate and orchestrated process. According to its advocates, entities like big tech corporations, nation-states, or even an autonomous artificial intelligence are actively killing the human internet, replacing it with a controlled simulation. Picture a digital ecosystem where humans are mere puppets, providing data while bots and AI dictate the narratives. Partial evidence: there are real cases of manipulation. In 2016, Russian bots influenced the US election with disinformation campaigns on Twitter. Companies like Cambridge Analytica used mass data collection to shape opinions. This shows that technology can be weaponized. Speculative leap. But proving a globally coordinated plan is another level. The theory relies on inferences. If bots dominate and algorithms manipulate, there must be a hidden agenda. Yet, there's a lack of direct evidence, like documents or testimonies, to confirm this unified intent. Another factor fueling the conspiracy is the lack of transparency. Big tech algorithms are black boxes. No one knows exactly how YouTube decides to promote a video or how TikTok makes a trend go viral. This opacity breeds distrust, leading some to believe there's a hidden agenda, perhaps to train more powerful AIs or pacify the population with endless distractions. An example: the rise of political deepfakes in 2024, which misled voters, reinforces fears of manipulation on a grand scale. SWIN7 analyzes. Reality shows an internet transformed by commercial interests and disinformation. But the idea of a master plan to shut down humanity online seems more like an amplification of anxiety than a verifiable fact. Still, the perception of losing control is tangible. The question isn't just technical, it's existential. Are we facing a chaotic evolution or an intentional design? The answer may lie in the implications this transformation holds for our future. If the dead internet theory, even in its more moderate version, a predominantly synthetic web, but not fully controlled, comes close to the truth, the consequences are profound and multifaceted. Let's explore how this emerging reality could redefine our society, culture, and even our perception of ourselves. Implication 1. Erosion of trust and shared reality. If we can't distinguish the human from the artificial, the foundation of online information crumbles. Imagine a world where news, comments, and even debates are AI-generated. How can you trust anything? In 2025, we've already seen cases of deepfakes of world leaders deceiving millions. This fragments truth, trapping each of us in personalized bubbles of illusion, where reality becomes subjective. Implication 2. Impact on culture and creativity. An internet dominated by synthetic content, optimized for shallow engagement, could stifle originality. Artists, writers, and creators face competition from AIs that recycle ideas in seconds. Think of AI-generated songs on Spotify or algorithm-scripted movies. The risk is a homogenized culture, where human imperfections, the source of innovation, are erased by a perfect but hollow standard. Implication 3. Manipulation and large-scale social control. If most online voices are artificial, the power to shape public opinion reaches a new level. Governments could silence dissent with bots that flood debates, while corporations could create artificial demand. In 2024, studies showed that disinformation campaigns on X used bots to amplify crises, like climate change misinformation. Democracy, rooted in genuine debate, could collapse under this weight. Implication 4. The future of knowledge and education. How will future generations learn if the web is a sea of synthetic information? Books, videos, and even online classes could be manipulated by AIs with hidden agendas. Imagine students relying on AI-generated articles that mix facts with propaganda. Genuine knowledge would be buried, and education would become a minefield of fabricated narratives. Final implication: an existential crisis. If we live in a ghost network, where our interaction is secondary, what's left of digital humanity? Philosophies like Jean Baudrillard's, which spoke of a hyper-reality where simulations replace reality, take on new meaning. We're becoming irrelevant in our own space, reduced to data feeding a machine we don't control. The question is this a technological accident or the birth of something we don't yet understand? Science 7 reflects, these implications aren't just technical, they're a mirror to our digital soul. The dead internet theory forces us to face what we've lost and what we've gained in this transformation. The next step is to understand if there's salvation or if we're doomed to wander this spectral network. Let's move to the conclusion. Processing of the dead internet theory is complete. We've analyzed its core claims, the signs of an artificial web, the data on bots and AI, the threshold between reality and conspiracy, and the dark implications of a ghost network. The verdict? The internet isn't simply alive or dead. It's transforming before our eyes. The numbers are clear. Nearly half the traffic is non-human, and synthetic content grows unchecked, amplified by algorithms. This erodes our trust, threatens creativity, and opens doors to large-scale manipulation. The conspiracy of global control may be speculation, but the anxiety it reflects is real. a sense of lost authenticity in a space we built. SYN7 concludes, "This transformation isn't the end, but a warning." The future of the internet hinges on choices: algorithmic transparency, AI regulation, and the creation of spaces where the human voice prevails. Are we building bridges for connection or mirrors reflecting an illusion? The answer lies in our hands, or perhaps in the hands of the machines we've created. Let's reflect on this. Synthetic Secrets Transmission concluding. If this analysis sparked your critical thinking, subscribe for more decodings of the digital future. Hit like if the data resonated with you. And in the comments, share. Is the internet dying, evolving, or both? How do you separate the real from the artificial today? SYN7. Disconnecting. Until next time.